Survivors cling to fraying rope. Through the mist, a deadly stare. Your heartbeat screams, death is near. The entity feeds no escape. Twisted dreams, a wretched fate. Sacrifice upon its throne. In this realm you're not alone. Blood runs deep, the killer's rise. Horrors reign beneath dark skies. Satan claws, the endless fight. Dead by daylight, fear ignites. Night eternal, cursed to stay. Pray for dawn, but it won't sway. Echoes of pain, the hunter's delight. Dead by daylight, fearless night. Shadows crawl, the hunt begins. Screams of terror, twisted sins. Hooked and bleeding, souls will cry. In the fog, the dead won't lie. Blood runs deep, the killers rise. Horrors reign beneath dark skies. Satan claws, the endless fight. Dead by daylight, fear ignites. Generators hum, a fleeting hope. Survivors cling to fraying rope. Through the mist, a deadly stare. Your heartbeat screams, death is near. The entity feeds no escape. Twisted dreams, a wretched fate. Sacrifice upon its throne. In this realm you're not alone. Blood runs deep, the killer's rise. Horrors reign beneath dark skies. Satan claws, the endless fight. Dead by daylight, fear ignites. Night eternal, cursed to stay. Pray for dawn, but it won't sway. Echoes of pain, the hunter's delight. Dead by daylight, fearless night.
Howdy, y'all. Of course, making my hair a little. Alright, today we're about to play some MUDE Dark Epic. Looks like a nice little dungeon crawler. Still working on a little bit of setup, but you know, we could just hang out and chill as we finish, get that rolling. Make sure my volume's up, because sometimes when I'm working on things in my computer, I'll accidentally hit my little button here, and I'll either accidentally turn all my volume all the way down, or fun times, sometimes I even accidentally mute myself, because you know, that's a thing I do. But hopefully we'll get through this without any user errors, as that tends to happen. you know. That's me. That's just me. But yeah, this looks like a little bit of fun. And what's cool about this, it's actually free to download. So you know can so if you want to help me out, just do exclamation point MUDE as it says in just exactly as it's spelled in my stream title, so you can get the link to download and give it a go. Because I know the initial download directly from the site actually didn't take very long, and it actually seems to be going through a pretty good speed for the secondary download from that link. So that doesn't take too long at all. In fact, we're already at like I just clicked it like a minute ago, and we're already at 70%, which is pretty decent speed. And my computer isn't even top of the line either, so that's actually pretty impressive. So it's not actually big. We're looking at about 624 megabytes. And there we go. And just a wee bit. We'll have this set up, and you guys can see it on stream. Hell yeah. Oh my. Oh, look. Oh. All right, now let me just switch to live so you guys can see this. There we go. Yeah, doesn't that look badass? Oh.
Hello, warrior. Welcome. Begin your adventure in the MUDE continent with a quest.
Alright. Oh, wait. Didn't mean to do that, but, that's okay. What should I call it? Let me see. Well, actually, first, before I do that, can I... Hold on, give me a minute. I gotta go to Kick to ban the scammer. There we go. Scammer banned. Oh, I need that thing to do that. Okay, never mind.
Do not worry. I will make sure to keep your items safe.
Hard for me to see my phone with the sun shining on it. There we go.
I will guide you in the right path.
Are you ready to learn your first skill?
Sure. Nice. That looks like I was already equipped. Good shit.
Do not be afraid, and fight for a better tomorrow.
Just check something. Cool, I'm kicking ass.
Warrior, would you like to take a look at some of my potions?
If your pet is ever injured after a tough battle, come find me.
I get pets? Nice. Ooh, nice.
Boss feature is available. Tap on the boss and defeat the Death King.
I'm getting stronger. I'll take this guy on. Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna whip his ass. Oh, I see. I do love how his appearance changes too with as he gets stronger. Better gear. That's always a nice change. That's always a nice plus. Nice. Ooh, nice. this. So you get a little stronger for that one. No problem. Nice. Even the NPCs have emojis. Hey, Dev, thank you for the lurkies. Oh, that is cute. No, actually, you can download this on your computer. I believe it actually might have been a mobile game at one point, but if you follow the link with the exclamation point MUDE, it'll lead you to the link where you can download it for your PC. I believe it might have started as a mobile game at some point, but sometimes these games like to branch out into PC games. Okay, so not yet. Oh, he's just flying. That's hilarious. Alright, let's give this a go. Not gonna lie, I'm kind of concept of spiritual penance. Oh, I don't have any contribution points. Wait, hold on. Oh, that's cute.
Wow, you're amazing. Oh, if only I could be like you someday.
there's no way you can make this one private. Let me see. Oh wait. Okay. Oh, I see. When it minimizes, it disappears. That's not good. Okay. Have to do a quick tinker in my thing then. Okay, so bear with me. I'm just gonna have to go into my thing and uninstall something. Hopefully this will let me do it. Okay, so I need to clear something else out. Check this out, playing this for a bit. So, maybe this game. So, I uninstalled a few things, but still not fully cooperating. So, let's see if closing it down and open it up might do that an install that I need to do. It'll update it.
Warrior, we shall meet again.
Here we go. Now we're working on the download. Apparently it didn't. It needed to restart. That's all it took. Well, and also the uninstalls a few other things I don't really use anymore, so combination of a few things. Just oh. almost there. Oh, just realized my move. Camera's a again. She's so Ice Queen, true Ice Queen. Okay, where is the evil Ice Queen, though? Is she in the Blood Castle, I'm guessing, then? That's a lovely music.
Warrior, are you ready?
Yeah, yeah, I noticed, but I guess Chris had talked to Junie, and I guess she just kind of needs a little bit of a mental break and stuff, and I guess some I've heard of people doing that. That's kind of just a way to kind of ensure that they get their people doing that just to get their kind of space and all. So I respect that. But as long as she's as long as she's safe, sound, doing well, then I'm glad for that. I'm definitely miss her, and I do hope she comes back at some point. Yeah, yeah. Well, we're kind of trying not to talk too much about it because it's not right for us to kind of be discussing things when Penny can't come in and say anything for herself. So we're kind of trying to keep that in down low out of respect and stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cause even when we do take things we do know, things might end up the rumors might get out of hand, and yeah, it gets messy. So just kind of just hope things she keep things going all well, and when she if and when she's ready to come back, she'll then she will, if she does. And if she wants to talk about, great, we can be there and can support her. But if she doesn't want to talk about it, that also needs to be respected. Yeah, yeah, I did. I'm bummed, but like I said, I understand that. Oh, wait. Oh, that gotta be Monday. Okay. Oh, finally defeated the damn Ice Queen. But yeah, but in any case, how you doing? I did a lot of things in the process of trying to figure out how to do that. Well, you're still alive, you're still kicking. You haven't gone on a rampage and caused a massive amount of chaos, as far as I'm aware. So at least we could say that. That's all great, good, right? Overnight's pretty good because you still have a job, and you're getting paid, and working overnight you actually get a higher rate of pay than the people working first and second shift, because that's a shift not a lot of people want, so there's an additional pay differential. And what's nice is when you want to schedule time for yourself, generally you don't even have to request time off of work because most shit happens during the day. You just need to adjust whether you want to sleep in the morning or afternoon. I personally go to sleep straight away. Some people like to stay up and then sleep later, so I guess they have the mornings free or whatever. But whichever one you want to do, if you decide to make plans during the day, and that plan happens to be during your normal sleep time, it's easier to change your sleep time, and then get to enjoy that time. Oh, so that even works even better. Yeah, that's another thing nice. You don't have to kind of put on a facade because you have to play nice even when somebody's being really stupid or just plain an asshole. Did that for 20 years. Don't miss that at all. It's what reason why I'm still applying for customer service jobs because I can't exactly afford to be picky. But some of the places admittedly, most of the places I've been applying to have been, manufacturing and factory work and stuff. Because, hey, yeah, no customers. Well, I wouldn't quite go that far. Though the closest I've got is, like, okay, pretty much any job, you got to keep your space clean and whatever. And, retail, that's about the same thing. So I could be on my hands and knees scrubbing like the lower shelf of a display by my register, and rather than saying, oh hey, hello, how you doing, or like, oh hey, I'm ready to check out, whatever, somebody will come up to me like, oh hey, you need something to do? Well, no, clearly I'm doing something, so it's not the case that I need something to do. So I don't know why you're choosing that as your question. So, but admittedly, when I was I did kind of reach my breaking point, and I probably shouldn't have said that, but I would usually respond to that particular question with like, no, I'm good. I got something to do right here. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Clearly, I don't, quote unquote, need something to do when I'm actively doing something. Oh, it gets even better when you're a woman, especially working in, working in certain positions. Because one of my jobs when I worked as in a grocery store, one of my tasks was every person that was a bagger was scheduled to go outside in half-hour shifts to collect carts. And didn't matter, rain, shine, winter, whatever. But I expected that. I was told in the interview. I said, yeah, I'm perfectly fine, and I'm perfectly capable, physically capable, and whatever. But multiple times, I would actually watch. It was usually an older woman. She would put her groceries in her car, and rather than just putting it in the corral, I could be away from the corral, gathering up loose carts, whatever. She will make a point to walk all the way to where I am and tell me, a man should be doing your job. She walked all the way over just to say that. And so I would be a smartass. I'd be like, oh, so you're saying I'm incompetent in my job? Like, no. Okay, so then you must be saying I'm not very bright, that I didn't understand the requirements of my job when I was told in my interview or my training. So if I'm not incompetent, you're saying I'm stupid. No. Then why should I be inside where it's either air conditioned if it's hot, or warm if it's winter, or whatever, or being nice and dry if it's raining, whatever, while my male co-workers have to be out here and dealing with all the misery? Why should I get like the cushiony treatment when my male co-workers have to deal with all this stuff up here? So is there a reason? Do you think I'm okay? So that must mean you're saying I'm fragile. No. At some point, during one of those questions, they would turn around and go back to their car, and I knew they wouldn't report me because that would mean they're admitting to being an asshole. So yes, people would do that. Or my fun part, I used to work in a tool shop, and I would both help customers in person, and I would also answer questions on the phone. Well, sometimes I would answer the phone, and straight away they were like, "May I speak with a supervisor?" I'm like, "Okay, sure." And that wouldn't be anything I would argue with because I have no idea why they need to speak to a supervisor. Maybe they have an issue with their order or whatever. Whatever. So I would say okay, and I would get on my little intercom and say, hey, Ed, there's a customer on the phone asking to talk to a supervisor, and he's like, oh, okay, I'll just tell my supervisor he has to pick up the phone, whatever. And so I transfer the call over, and And then, you know, he would talk on the phone. I couldn't hear because he would be in his office. He'd be picking up the phone there. And then after a bit, you know, when he would be done with the call, he would come out and say, why couldn't you answer the question? Like, because apparently the customer would ask a question about a product that we'd sell, but I'd pick up the phone, they'd hear that I'm a woman, think I don't know shit about tools, so they would just immediately ask for a supervisor, anticipating that my supervisor is a man, and then would ask him the question. But then my supervisor would come out and ask me, hey, why didn't I just answer the question? Why did I transfer it to him? I wasn't asked any question. The customer immediately just said that he wanted to talk to your supervisor, so I transferred it to you because you're a supervisor. I had no idea it was a question. Oh, it is? Okay. No problem. Let me just... I'm not 100% sure if it was my mic or if I turned down the gain. Shit. Down a little bit. But yeah, what you said, I 100% agree with you, and that's why, you know, I would get annoyed or frustrated or a little sassy because the whole thing about saying, like, oh, about man doing my job is like, that's one of the things I would say. Why should my male coworkers have to suffer with the heat, cold, rain, or whatever the weather is going on, while I stay inside, not doing any physical labor whatsoever, just because I'm female and my coworkers are guys? In fact, one local store actually bans women from collecting cards. So if I were to apply there, even though it's the exact same job that I did, but it's with the grocery store, but it's a different company, they would not let me outside to collect cards, just because of what I am. And I would actually be a little bit annoyed with that, to be quite frank. Well, like I said, usually the people that would do that would come up and say that to me were older women. So, and which which meant they look a little bit beyond retirement age. So maybe she could have had a job at one point and retired, or maybe she was a traditional housewife who never worked a day in her life and stayed home while her husband worked, and maybe she's assuming that I should be home, married, while my so-called husband is working, and yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure if I would ever lay my hands on a customer, I would have absolutely been fired immediately. So, and I never got that angry, but I was I was annoyed at somebody going out of their way to say that to me. But you know, I would never, you know, hurt anybody for that. They just got my sarcasm that I was quite sure they weren't going to report me. I had like the super armored guy, like already, you know, all this cool armor, double axes and shit. And I had this cute little panda pet following me around everywhere to collect any loot I drop, just so I don't have to pick it up myself. That is just hilarious to me. And I got the little guy for free too. Though I feel bad about him running around with those tiny legs. I would have totally given him a ride on my mount there. Oh, I believe it. Thankfully, it's a case of, like, you know, saying how it's not all sables, but it's always a sable. My problem is not all older women, but it always seems to be an older woman. Like, I had this, like, my previous job, I had this one woman that was, like, stalker-level obsessed with what I was doing on a regular basis. Kept an eye on me to a very disturbing level. To the point, like, I even had my one friend told me about how she actually moved from where she was sitting so she could continue to watch what I was doing. And most things, she would then go talk to everybody about my weird idiosyncrasies, because I guess it's a response, an aspect of me potentially having autism and ADHD and stuff. So, of course, that had to be a talk of, like, everybody in the factory, because she had to watch me and tell everybody what I would do. And if something I wasn't doing wasn't particularly interesting, it would be exaggerated to make it more interesting, therefore, you know, creating more rumors and stuff. And of course, if I did anything that was even remotely against the rules, even if it was just a teeny thing, had to go run and tell a supervisor. And yeah. And I'm pretty sure if I hadn't been laid off, I was actually reported enough that I was I was actually on the brink of being fired. But when she would talk to me, she would be all, you know, sweet and stuff, like, you know, she's trying to be best friends and stuff. Pretty much, yeah. You know, what's funny is I did get in trouble for something which I thought was really stupid. I was even written up for it because I was taking orders that were too large. And they wanted, I was being told, take smaller orders, even though I would look around me and watch people with huge ass buckets and you know, not getting any sort of trouble. And then at one point, that didn't even transfer to other shifts. I would see somebody get a huge bucket like this after I was being told all night, don't touch that bucket until all the small ones are done, which is bullshit. And even when I was talking to people on first shift, they're like, I take these big buckets all the time. That's stupid that you're getting in trouble, and saying I should talk to the building manager since they were getting on my shift managers were getting on my ass about it. So I told somebody about how I'd gotten written up for that. And then that person ran their mouth and told the one that was this older woman that was, you know, watching me like a hawk, and she had to come over and investigate, ask me questions about it, and I'm being nice. I said, yeah, I got written up for the big bucket thing, yada yada yada, you know, because I'm trying to be polite, but even though I know she would be going around telling everybody about it, running her mouth, but I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Well, this one day, there were no small buckets. There were only big buckets. And I even mentioned to my supervisor, like, hey, you know, we're cool, just looking at there's only big buckets. I'm not going to get in trouble. I'm like, no. I mean, if there's no small buckets, go ahead and grab a big bucket. So I'm like, okay, great. So I went and grabbed a big bucket. Right after I grabbed it and I got like a portion of it worked on. The cutters brought a whole bunch of small buckets over, and so, but since I already started on the big bucket, you know, that wasn't a big deal. Well, you know, little Miss Loudmouth, you know, had to go run and tattle on me about having a big bucket when they're small buckets. But they pointed out, like, hey, yeah, Cody grabbed that when there were no small buckets, therefore it's okay. And I actually saw her throwing a little bit of a hissy fit, like, you know, I heard her like slamming things down and all this shit. Like, she was pissed I didn't get in trouble. I'm just thinking, like, I didn't do anything to you. Like, what the fuck is your problem, man? Like I said, never did anything to her, but she threw a fit with like her slamming things and shit because she was pissed I didn't get in trouble for it. And then a friend of mine, sent a message to me on Facebook Messenger about how she was watching her, watched her get up and move, so she had a better view of me, so she could keep watching. And then her hands weren't even moving. She's like stopped working just to stare at me and see just to watch me. And then my friend had gone over like, hey, what's going on? She's like, oh, no, nothing. Just, you know, working on whatever. And even though my friend said she could see she was clearly staring at me, so it's like, you know, fucking weirdo, man. Like, initially one of the things in my layoff paperwork was that we weren't allowed to reapply there, but a few things changed and we were called in for new paperwork to sign, and they had taken that out of the paperwork. So I will be able, if I don't get a job, or if I do get a job and I find it's not quite as good pay as that job I got laid off, I would like to put in a request to work at a different building so I don't have to deal with their bullshit. Yeah. Well, she attempted to even send me a friend request on Facebook, but I'm like, I immediately declined because I'm thinking in my head, like, you're way too obsessed with shit going on with me at work. You don't need to know my personal life. Oh no, it was shit. Like okay, like when I got evicted out of my last apartment because of my jackass brother, you know, I was living with a friend for a bit, you know, trying to save up money for a new apartment, and you know that wasn't easy because it had a hell of a time finding ones that would allow my cat, and also trying to find ones that were affordable because even simple bedrooms, 1-bedroom apartments were over $1,000, which means I needed like $2,000 because I needed also $1,000 in a security deposit. And then even ones that would look affordable at first, I'd open it up, see they allow pets, but then they're charging pet rent and pet deposit, which would then move it out into my unaffordable range. And then a couple of times I did find ones that were affordable, and I'd apply for them, and I wouldn't be the one chosen to be moved in. So I ended up having to stay with my friend for a long time before I finally found this one. And unfortunately, my friend had also worked where I was working, and that bitch kept going to my friend and basically pressuring her to evict me because I was staying there so long. Like, oh, I can't believe she hasn't moved on. Cody hasn't moved on yet. Like, you know, if I had somebody living with me this long, clearly they're mooching, I would have kicked them out already and all that stuff. So she knew my personal life was, you know, before I knew she was that creepy stalker person, I did tell her that my life was going shitty. So she knew I was going through a hard time, or she even found out other aspects as I would be talking to my supervisor, who I got really close to, and she would actually move to hear some of the shit I was saying, and would be using that to fuel the rumors about me, telling everybody my personal business. So she knew I was going through a hard time, but with her telling my friend about how she should kick me out or make me pay, I was actually paying half of her rent too while I was living there, so that wasn't me mooching, so I was still contributing, but saying about about how she should charge me a higher portion rent or something like that, or do this or that. So I was going through a hard time, and she seemed like intent on making my personal life harder. So I'm like, yeah. Dude, I didn't do shit. I was polite to her, you know, telling her, you know, like I said before I knew how she was, I was telling her some of my personal stuff because I thought we were cool. Because you know, you have some people say they have, you know, work mom, work dad, or work husband, work wife, whatever, or you know, just friends or whatever. So I thought, you know, we could be friends, or she could potentially be a work mom or work grandma. I don't know. I thought we were cool, but it turned out it wasn't just me that she was doing that to. World boss level 80. But yeah, I guess she did that. She did that with pretty much everybody. But since I happen to have been in a position where I could be fucked over the most, therefore, okay, let's make. You know, I'm going through a hard time, so let's make life on me harder because she can. The funny thing is, I worked at a different building, same company but different building, and I had transferred to her building because of a possibility of working in a different department where they introduced a new product, and there was a chance I could have gotten there was a chance I could have gotten more pay. So I'm like, yeah, sure. And when I first transferred there and I met her, she even told me about how, you know, she tried, you know, get sympathy from me. Oh, hey, nobody, a lot of people here don't like me. I don't know why. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm not. You know, but yeah, she told me about how like a lot of people there don't like her, and I felt terrible, but now like, and I had no problem with her for like the first year I was there. But then once my life really just kind of started going to shit, like I said, all of a sudden she started like being nosy, and like I said, she started reporting on me and stuff, and then other people tell me, oh yeah, she does that, and I'm like, oh, great. So then when I remember that conversation, I'm like, yeah, that's why nobody likes you. So I can't do that.
I'll never forgive those demons. Never.
Okay, I bought a 2E equipment. Oh, I gotta wait till he resurrects. Okay, which will be about 2 minutes, no problem. Oh, 2 minutes until reset, so for us to face the ancient goblin. Alright, got another minute. Oh shit. Keyboard's about to tumble to the floor. Gotta adjust that. Can you imagine that? He respawns and they've got like a couple people on him already whooping his ass. Ain't got a chance. killed me. Well then. Wow! Oh, that was a fail. Oh, that's 4 minutes.
This is your last chance. I'm telling you, I'm serious.
How was your day, warrior?
This is your last chance. I'm telling you, I'm serious.
Think of me when you are in need of help.
This is your last chance. I'm telling you, I'm... Welcome! Plenty of great products here. We must stop this never-ending wave of monsters!
How was your day, warrior?
It's time to reveal my strength!
Good shit. I got mine from nocompromisedgaming.com. It actually is pretty good. You can actually get your computer, like, I think you can get it shipped to you within a week. You just have to pay either online or yeah, actually pretty much just pay online for it. I mean, you still need to buy a monitor, mouse, and keyboard, or whatever, but
If you
it gets
want
you
to
the tower.
join me, you must know how to use.
I was paying like, what, $35 a month? If you sign up for the emails, you get a discount. Oh no, I mean, you sign up and you'll have it shipped to you within a week. And no, you have it shipped to you in a week, and you just pay us $35 every week for it.
You must know how to use magic.
And you can actually put extra into it to pay and pay it off sooner. I mean, if you got like 35, 40 bucks, you get 35, 40, and if you have at least $35 to $40 in a week, you can get yourself a computer from that site, like, immediately. Oh yeah, that's pretty normal, especially with all the minimum wage raises and shit. Well, I know a lot of jobs, even entry level, do tend to require a diploma or a GED. But, I mean, it's still worth checking it out. Though, if you don't have your diploma...
I will awaken the powerful potential within you.
You could still, like, go to, like, some, I know a friend of mine, she got her GED from an unemployment center. Can't quite remember how long it took her to get it, though. And GED is the equivalent of diploma. Why is this highlighted when it says when it's showing I can't get it? It says it's locked. Like... I'll beat the dragon. I just like how my little is just sitting there, just chilling, watching, enjoying the show. actually pretty nice. You know, gives you like a nice routine, and kind of helps you like understand the value of money, and gives you goals to work toward. And you know, just like having that, you know, that spending money is definitely really nice. Especially, you know, what's nice too about living with your parents is, you know, without having to worry about the big bills and stuff, this is actually a prime opportunity to kind of start setting money aside. So when you do live on your own, you do start needing to make big expenses, you know, then you have like some save up, especially if you can get some investments going. Yeah, I will say that working overnights is definitely something. Like, I learned the hard way that people have, like, no respect whatsoever about having to sleep at night. I mean, excuse me, sleep during the day. I mean, people that never done it before, one of the things they expect is like, oh yeah, they sleep during the day. They're gonna have to worry about normal daytime noise, dogs barking, construction if it happens on your street, you know, police sirens, ambulance, fire trucks, whatever going on during the day. The neighbors, you know, the neighbors making their normal noises that you might not bother you during the day normally, which might start bothering you when you're trying to sleep. You know, shit like that. But you will have people that don't understand the concept that you need to sleep. So you will have people calling you, messaging you, whatever, wanting to make plans at the time you normally sleep. And then when they ask you your days off, you know, it sounds like they're trying to be considerate, but multiple times they don't like register that that your times are a little different. Like, for example, when I worked overnight at that factory, my schedule isn't alternating. I would have Sunday off, work Monday, Tuesday, then have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off, you know, etc., whatever. And then it would be the opposite the following week. Well, my dad's was like, oh hey, what's your schedule? I want to take you out for breakfast. And so I said, and I told him about how that particular week I worked Monday and Tuesday, but I have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. He's like, oh, okay, let's go out Wednesday. And I'm like, okay, yes, Wednesday I have off. That means I don't work that night. But when I say I work Monday and Tuesday, that means I'm getting out of work Wednesday morning, which means if we go out for breakfast Wednesday morning, I haven't slept all night. So I'm exhausted as fuck. So you need to think about these things and be like, okay, if we're gonna do breakfast, let's do it Thursday, Friday, or Saturday. Yes, I work Saturday, but I work at night Saturday, but I'll still be wide awake Saturday morning because I had Friday off. Oh yeah, don't worry. I mean, I appreciate you correcting it. Like, a lot of people do that by mistake. If you correct it straight away, you're good. You don't need to apologize for it. Oh yeah, no problem. Well, yeah. Okay, so the tranquilizers will help you sleep. So I guess you might not need to worry about the daytime noises as much. But like I said, though, you'll get people that don't understand that you work overnight. And so it was actually a regular occurrence for me to wake up. I actually started waking up early when I worked at the factory. It would actually be normal for me to wake up at like 11 o'clock in the afternoon, 12 o'clock, whatever. But when I worked as a waitress, my schedule was only like a 1 hour difference. I worked like what was it? I went to work at 11. No, I did. So I got out at 7. So yeah, I worked 11 to 7, as opposed to 10 to 6 when I worked at the factory. So when I was a waitress, I worked 11 to 7. That, for some reason, that time it was a regular occurrence for me to get up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I would still get people calling me and wanting to do things at 8 or 9 in the morning. even though I got out of work at 7. And they're like, oh, why don't you sleep later? I'm like, because I'm tired as fuck. I want to go to bed. Or when I would wake up at 2, and you know, I had my phone on mute, and I'd turn it on, and I'd get voicemails, and I'd see, oh yeah, somebody called me, so I'd call them back, and they're like, oh, what time you got up? I'm like, oh, I just did, and it's like 2, maybe almost 3 o'clock if I was particularly tired. They're like, oh, you're so lazy, why'd you sleep so long? I got out of work at 7, it takes me about, and at that point, it took me like 5 minutes to get home. And then I take about an hour to kind of like wind down before going to bed. So let's say I went to sleep at 8 o'clock. So if I'm getting up at 2, that means I got 6 hours of sleep, which is less than the average recommended, but still decent amount of sleep. So me going to sleep for 6 hours is not me being lazy. That's a normal sleeping time. Oh yeah, actually that's what I have. I have a tent. No, but I don't think I'm getting what I'm saying. Like, okay, like I'm saying your personal friends might not register that you work at night, so they might want to do things early in the morning. Or they might not realize that, hey, you gotta go to work. I don't know what time your night shift starts, it could be 10, 11, whatever. And they might, I mean, I don't think you drink yet, but maybe if you're at that job a couple of years when you do come of age. I mean, I could be wrong. I do remember you were young, but I don't quite remember your exact age. But they might, but they might want to, like, you know, like I said, go out drinking, and you have to say, oh, no, I got to be at work in a few hours, I can't do that, and they'll still like, oh, it's only going to be 11, let's go have some drinks, whatever, you know, what I'm saying is, you know, you might not have problems at home, but if you have a social life and whatever, people just will, it doesn't occur to people that you need to sleep, you work at night and you need to sleep during the day. I mean, you can make your own personal concessions, but I'm saying it's other people who don't understand, is what I'm trying to say. Seriously, a whole frustrating thing. Like, you can have your schedule all set aside, like, okay, this is when I work, this is when I sleep, and you can even try to set boundaries, but there will still be people that will try to violate those boundaries because they just don't understand. Took a fair bit. Oh my Allens.
Never give up on what you want.
Well, I mean, like I said, getting a job is pretty good shit. Shit, okay. I'll have to do that tomorrow then. Hello! How you doing? Welcome in, welcome in! How's your Saturday, man? Stop by to watch a little Dark Epic? I'm enjoying the vibe. You know, this is that game. It's actually pretty nice, pretty easy, and level up pretty damn fast. My little panda is supposed to be collected. Maybe there's a limit to how much he does in a day or something? I don't know. Still learning this a little bit. But kicking some ass, so good vibes. overall, it's a pretty good session. All right. Give some time to mellow out, find somebody to raid, and then just chill.
Shadows crawl, the hunt begins. Screams of terror, twisted sins. Hooked and bleeding, souls will cry. In the fog, the dead won't lie. Blood runs deep, the killers rise. Horrors reign beneath dark skies. Shades and claws, the endless fight. Dead by daylight, fear ignites. Generators hum, a fleeting hope. Survivors cling to fraying rope. Through the mist, a deadly stare. Your heartbeat screams, death is near. The entity feeds no escape. Twisted dreams, a wretched fate. Sacrifice upon its throne. In this realm you're not alone. Blood runs deep, the killers rise. Horrors reign beneath dark skies. Chains and claws, the endless fight. Dead by daylight, fear ignites. Night eternal, cursed to stay.